Quality is not an act, it is a habit. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Happiness depends upon ourselves. There is no great genius without some touch of madness. Whosoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. In all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. Hope is a waking dream. A friend to all is a friend to none. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. He who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. Republics decline into democracies and democracies degenerate into despotisms. Those that know, do. Those that understand, teach. Personal beauty is a greater recommendation than any letter of reference. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. The law is reason, free from passion. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. We make war that we may live in peace. Well begun is half done. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. Democracy is when the indigent, and not the men of property, are the rulers. The secret to humor is surprise. Moral excellence comes about as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. Suffering becomes beautiful when anyone bears great calamities with cheerfulness, not through insensibility but through greatness of mind. What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. The soul never thinks without a picture. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. Mothers are fonder than fathers of the children because they are more certain they are their own. It is best to rise from life as from a banquet, neither thirsty nor drunken. Youth is easily deceived because it is quick to hope. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. The end of labor is to gain leisure. Education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. Change in all things is sweet. Wit is educated insolence. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. The virtue of justice consists in moderation, as regulated by wisdom. Education is the best provision for old age. My best friend is the man who in wishing me well wishes it for my sake. We become just by performing just action, temperate by performing temperate actions, brave by performing brave action. I have gained this from philosophy, that I do without being commanded what others do only from fear of the law. For one swallow does not make a summer, nor does one day, and so too one day, or a short time, does not make a man blessed and happy. Nature does nothing in vain. Plato is dear to me, but dearer still is truth. The state comes into existence for the sake of life and continues to exist for the sake of good life. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Nature does nothing in vain. Without friends no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. A great city is not to be confounded with a populous one. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. All paid jobs absorb and degrade the mind. There was never a genius without a tincture of madness. All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsions, habit, reason, passion, desire. The gods too are fond of a joke. Therefore, the good of man must be the end of the science of politics. All men by nature desire knowledge. A constitution is the arrangement of magistracies in a state. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in deserving them. Both oligarch and tyrant mistrust the people, and therefore deprive them of their arms. Of all the varieties of virtues, liberalism is the most beloved. Men are swayed more by fear than by reverence. No one would choose a friendless existence on condition of having all the other things in the world. Friendship is essentially a partnership. If one way be better than another, that you may be sure is nature's way. Bad men are full of repentance. He who hath many friends hath none. No excellent soul is exempt from a mixture of madness. The greatest virtues are those which are most useful to other persons. The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. Courage is a mean with regard to fear and confidence. Character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered.